What's going on, y'all? Brother Doug here. So now I just got back from seeing Ninja Turtles, aka Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Teenage Alien Turtles, Michael Bay Turtles, whatever you want to call it. First, before I get on with this review and everything in general, I just want to say that I'm not a hardcore Ninja Turtles fan. That all goes to my brother. This dude has, man, he's been a turtle fan since birth, man. Let's see, he had the toys, the action figures, watched all the movies, even the third one. The third one is the least, a lot of people bag on the third one, but I actually liked it. But that's for another blog. Maybe this one. I don't know. But yeah, for his birthday this year, his wife put stickers on his umbrella because New Orleans they do the second line thing. Yeah, I'm not from New Orleans, but he had little sippy cups, a lot of memorabilia, a lot of parallel, just a massive Ninja Turtles fan. However, he was displeased with the movie. I was like, what? And it seems like when I was going through IGN and other little messenger boards like CBR, even on Twitter, people are just, well, not people, just the hardcore fans of Ninja Turtles are just bashing this thing like, what's going on, man? But I had to say, man, despite all my criticism of this dude, Michael Bay's been stepping up his game. A lot of people disagree with me about the Transformers 4 review, but I like Transformers 4, and I like this movie. Even though I'm not a hardcore Transformers or Ninja Turtles fan, but to each his own. The thing is, some of these hardcore Ninja Turtles fans are still stuck in the late 80s, early 90s. Oh, this ain't the Turtles, and it's like, come on, man. Enjoy your childhood. None of those items, none of those mediums will ever go away. There's always the comics. You can always watch the old movies on DVD. I'm sure you can watch some of the old episodes from the TV shows, Next Mutation. A lot of people don't like Next Mutation either, but I don't know why. Maybe because of Venus. Now, when I heard the casting of this chick portraying April O'Neil, I said, "Oh Lord, it's Transformers all over again." But after watching it, Megan Fox is actually the star of the show. Man, she was okay. She was actually superb. But the only complaint I have from her is, how come her hair wasn't red? I mean, they're trying to stay somewhat faithful to the comics and the cartoon and whatnot. The original mythology of Ninja Turtles. Why didn't they just have her? Why didn't they just dye her hair? I remember she had her hair dyed at first, but from rumors, they're saying that her hair was falling off or something like. Well, she could have wore a wig, but that's just me. Now, of course, the Turtles are awesome. Now, when they first got introduced, remember I did a blog about that when the leaked picture Toy Fair from what Turtles are gonna look like. People were like, oh, they look like Shrek and stuff, but I actually liked it. I liked how the characteristics, how they broke down the personalities. You got Raph, looking like a straight brawler, like a boxer. You got Mikey looking like a straight surfer. With the seashells. Oh, a little trivia about Mikey though. He originally had a gold chain, but they had to change it because it was stereotypical. Michael Bay almost went there. Again, we didn't need another Jar Jar Binks. We didn't need another Autobot twin. So I'm glad he resolved that. But Mikey, the surfer and whatnot. Leo, nerdy glasses, the tech gear around him, and Leonardo looking like a samurai. A straight up leader. So I like how they distinct their personalities with that. Of course, Mikey stole the show. Mikey was always my favorite turtle ever since a kid, man. Just the jokes and just his one-liners. Just straight up Mikey. Also, Raph was cool. He's one of my other favorite turtles. Speaking of Raph, though, this is a spoiler-filled video if you didn't know. I felt like he was more of a leader than Leo. But some might digress. I was talking to my brother about it. We were having a little comical debate about it. Some people are saying that it's his personality. He's always bumping heads with Leo. Like, yeah, that I know. The whole mythology of Ninja Turtles. But I just felt like he should have been captured with Mikey and Donnie instead of Leo. Remember how at the lab, they getting their mutagen drained out. I felt like it should have been him since he's the hardcore leader, and he barely had any lines in the movie. Like, aren't you supposed to be the leader? But that's the problem with some of these movies, like Cyclops and the X-Men movies. Like, he's supposed to be the leader, but he's barely in it. But then again, Fox wants Wolverine to be the star of the show, so it's up for debate. And though, Rav's speech at the end before they're supposedly gonna die, when they're falling off, holding on to the railing when they're falling down off the building, when he was giving that speech about brotherhood, and now he pushes them harder, and sometimes he, feels like they're better than it just. I ain't gonna lie, it kind of almost brought me to tears. Like, that's how I feel with my brothers. Let's get into the villains. Throughout the course of development of this Ninja Turtles movie, we've been saying that William Fichtner is going to be Shredder, because his name was changed from Arukusaki to Eric Sachs, and we're like, okay, that's kind of the Americanized version of that name. He's not Shredder at all, y'all. He just created the suit and the mutagen with April's dad. That's another thing fans complain about, the origin. Now, I didn't tell my brother this, but I kind of agree with y'all. I think that sometimes the origin story should just stay the same. They did it for both Spider-Mans. They did it for most of these reboots. Just keep the origin the same. April had nothing to do with the Turtles' creation. I mean, that kind of threw out years of mythology away. Like, come on, man. However, this tall, I guess 7 foot tall Asian bald dude was Shredder. That was the real Urukusaki, but yet they never said his name. And Karai was in this movie. Now here's what they can do with the sequels. They can either bring in the Krang, the Technodrome, of course Bebop and Rocksteady, Casey Jones. There's a lot of stuff that can happen with the Ninja Turtles mythology. My favorite part was in a favorite part. To get that, the favorite part was inside of a favorite part. Of course, the avalanche scene when they're escaping Eric Sachs' estate, down the avalanche, the snow hill, and some snow plummet and whatnot. But when supposedly you think Leo, Will Arnett, Vern, and April are gonna die, they fall off the cliff. Mikey's like, "No, Leo, April, some other guy." You guys remember earlier this year when they had to do reshoots? Well, I want to say it was early this year or late last year. I don't know, but they had some behind the scenes with April with Raph in disguise. The famous trench coat and the hat and the glasses. Just the disguise. But that wasn't present in the movie. But they have the toys out with that. They have the action figure with that. So it's kind of confusing. Maybe it might be a deleted scene on the DVD. All in all, director Jonathan Liebesman, he did a great job. The movie had a few flaws, like I didn't like the plan. It kind of reminded me of the first Amazing Spider-Man, where they're gonna poison the city and then try to create an antidote to spread to the city. But I didn't really like that plot. It had a few little flaws, but other than that, I give it a 4 out of 5. Cowabunga. So if you guys seen Turtles, you guys are hardcore Turtle fans, let me know in the comments below what other Ninja Turtle stuff should I be reading, watching. Yeah, let me know in the comments below. Should like the video, share the video, subscribe, follow me on Facebook and Twitter, and like always, deuces.